Hello everyone. Welcome again to Indian Mastermind show where we engage the top officers of India uh, to discuss burning issues faced by the bureaucracy and the country. Today, I'm joined by a very senior officer who has been chairman of UPSC from 2014 to 2016. He has also written a book, The Steel Frame of India, A History of IAS, which may simply be called a Bible or encyclopedia on IAS. He is Mr. Deepak Gupta, the 1974 batch IAS officer of Jharkhand cadre. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Sir, now let us come to the IAS service, its challenges, pitfalls, and scope for improvement. So, what are the qualities of a good officer in your view?
अब ये देखिए I think first of all is the integrity. There is no question about it. And integrity in its broadest form. It's not only financial integrity, it's true to principles that you know, and what I just mentioned earlier about what is right. So political neutrality, all these things come. Integrity is the most important thing. Secondly, I think I have to do a job. So I must get it done. I must have the ability to ensure that decisions are taken and the job is done, completed, and in a proper manner. So that quality of getting the job done, it has so many implications. Thirdly, I think the world is changing very fast. So I need to be innovative. Right. I need to be able to learn. Fourth is that you have to be a leader. And leadership implies certain qualities of its own. Right. Satya Nadella of Microsoft has given a lecture on leadership. He has mentioned empathy is very important. You mentioned about earlier about arrogant. So you have to remove those things. You have to be humble. Actually, you are a servant of the people, and I think the IAS provides you the opportunity, real opportunity for the 10-15 years you are in the field to serve the common man in the district. No question about it. And I can tell you, I always felt in the district that I am the savior of the common man. Many times against the political representative who is trying to, and sometimes, anyway. So all these I think are the qualities, humility and all, these are all very important. Then of course you have to be a good person. So in short, these are the things. You should be able to think, you should be able to be competent, you should have presence of mind. All these things are there. And by the way, these are all mentioned in the syllabus and IAS questionnaire, etc. Yeah. And these are the people often ask me what are they looking for in the interview. These are all mentioned in that place. These are the things you are looking for in an IAS, and that is why this examination also needs to be separate from the other services.
So, sir, even in the examination, ethics and morals, they are a subject. Even in training, they are a subject. And still, we are often seen that there are questions of ethics and morality. Sure. And they always say that morality is a very subjective.
Yes, let us not go into that thing because, I'm not professionally qualified to talk about that. I may be doing all these things in the academy and in the paper. But the first problem starts from the examination system we discussed earlier.
Right.
If you are allowing so many kind of people to continue sitting for that thing, it is not showing a good attitude for the person concerned. And Puja is the extreme example of it.
Right.
Secondly, I'm presuming that younger people will tend to be more honest or amenable to be trained to be more honest than people who have gone through life and seen much of it. Secondly, if the system around you is showing everybody dishonesty succeeding, everybody being dishonest, nobody respects our TV anchors anymore. So they are being dishonest in a way, and I'm seeing them daily. So how long can you separate these few people from that societal impact? then there is a pressure on them to be dishonest. So all these things, you have to counter all this kind of thing. And one way to counter it is the training part. First, select young. Second, train. Third, continuously train. And fourth, remove the corrupt officers, which we will come to. And that will be a big deterrent. And it should be done.
Now let's discuss that also. Do you recommend a continuous evaluation? Because IAS officers are normally promoted en masse batch-wise. So where is the incentive to be efficient and honest?
No, not entirely true, because at the level of joint secretary and at the level of additional secretary, not all are impaneled.
Yeah.
But the problem is different, which nobody asks.
But then they are given the pay scale, even if they are not promoted.
Yes, so this problem nobody asked, and I have suggested it, and I've discussed it in the book. There is empanelment and there is promotion. Empanelment is promotion only to be deputed to Government of India.
Yeah, right.
Meanwhile, you continue to be promoted to the state. Now, when you empanel, the presumption is that you have a good record.
Right.
So, am I then taking a decision that all the not good officers will stay in the states? This is the implication. All the empaneled people come to Delhi, become additional secretary, joint secretary, secretary. So, is the state's administration, this is the fact, unempaneled officers, although people are going back and forth, but this is from the systemic point of view, this is the implication. So, my recommendation is, you promote and empanel, make it the same thing. No separate thing. And whoever does not get promoted, he will get one more chance 1 year later. They should be pensioned off.
Maybe after 10 years or
no, not empaneled, pensioned. At the joint secretary stage, not empaneled, pensioned. Additional secretary, not empaneled, pensioned. Secretary stage, not empaneled, pensioned.
Won't this create a scarcity of officers?
No, it will. But then you need to sort that problem out in another way. First, though whoever is empaneled, retirement age 62, not 60. But these are good officers with good experience. You need them and their experience. I could even take them to more than 62.
65 also.
65 also. What is the harm? But 62 definitely.
You're right.
Others should be pensioned off, but I must start more people to be recruited.
Why only 100?
Why people are not being, we know there's a shortage of 1,000 people today.
Right.
More posts have been created.
Right.
So I have created a situation where there are no IAS officers to be joint secretary.
That is why there is always a tug of war between the state and the center.
There will be, no, because the officers' number is declining and the posts are more.
Right.
So this is a very, very significant thing. You see, the principle behind this is this, and especially when you have people coming in at different kind of ages who may not be empaneled. They will remain in the state.
You're right.
They already know that they won't rise to the top. And then they will remain in the state. So I'm creating perverse incentives. And then they are not empaneled. So it is said that a system which does not reward its good officers, but also does not punish its bad officers.
Right.
It's the worst.
Here's the worst.
So here we are neither rewarding good officers, nor are we punishing bad officers. So you please remove from the service, and not only from the IAS, it should be applicable to other services also. And you extend the retirement age for the good people.
Right.
So this is I think this should be implemented straight away.
There is another question. In fact, as you say that there should be a separate examination for IAS, separate examination for, say, account services. So while the government is working to reduce the number of examinations, have a common entrance examination for.
There is the pressure of other services.
Yeah. So now there will be so many.
And there is not enough thinking on this. There is the pressure of other services. They don't want IAS to be given any importance.
So how fair will it be to have person is subjected to so many examinations. कि जहाँ तो सरकार कह रही है कि भाई 10 एग्जाम की जगह एक
you see,
एग्जाम
we'll
कर
have
लो.
to design a system. If there is a prelim examination of a kind, then the top people can sit for the IAS.
Right.
If you want. And people, after that, the examination, main examination, for the accounts, people may have different eligibility conditions. People who have chartered accountant, people who have this, people who have done that, business studies, whatever. A system can be found if we look into it in detail.
Okay. So you're saying there has to be a system of incentives and disincentives.
Yes, absolutely.
And this has to continue till retirement.
Yes, of course. And I need to change the appraisal system completely.
How?
Well, earlier it was based on CRs.
Right.
Now, then there was a rule that I should show my CRs to the subordinates. So
Right.
that has completely damaged the system.
Right.
So everybody is becoming outstanding. 8 is a mark for outstanding.
Right.
So mostly people get 8.1, 8.2.
Right.
And then the criteria I have made for promotion from based on ACRs is good, very good.
Yeah, right.
So it is meaningless. Everybody will get promoted unless he is unfit for promotion for some reason. So everybody gets promoted. Then what's the point? And I told you, a system which promotes everybody is no good.
But there is a lot of talk about this 360-degree evaluation. What is it? And
So 360. I think the idea was that you get inputs from outside,
yeah, right.
not only the boss.
Yeah, right.
So in principle, it's a good idea. You get inputs from other people, but that input may be from a person who is not who's either very fond of that officer or not fond of that officer. Then that input may itself become subjective.
And the person talks to the seniors and juniors of the
So that's what I'm saying. Subjectivity is introduced in a different way, so it may not give you the correct picture. It's more suited for the private sector. But my suggestion for the appraisal, for the IAS and IFS, IPS, and maybe it should apply to other services also. I need to do it through the UPSC. And I will make it a very comprehensive thing. I've tried to describe it in that.
Right.
I have the CRs.
Yeah, right.
I have the 360 degrees appraisal information.
Right.
I will ask you to write an essay of what you have done. Second essay is what you want to do and how you will do it. And with all your record, if I have 2 hours with you, I can find out. दूध का दूध, पानी का पानी. पता चल जाएगा मुझे. Let this appraisal process be done. And as I told you, those who don't pass, they get one more opportunity, otherwise we pensioned off.
Yeah, right.
Then there would be no need for any extension. All the good people are getting up to 62. I may allow people, you want to go to CAT, go at 59. You want to go to become member of UPSC, go at 59.
Why should people who can superannuate at 62 want to go to CAT at 59?
Because they will get 6 years. Some people are happy being in the government. घर मिल जाता है, गाड़ी मिल जाती है, दफ्तर मिल जाता है. वो 40-30 साल की आदत है, वो छूटती नहीं है. So some people may like it. It's all right. You go like this.
Right.
So and no extension. In my view, no extension. Nobody is indispensable. No extensions.
Means we are seeing this government giving,
no, whether it's this government or any government, but no extensions.
5 times, 6 times, 8 times extensions.
Yeah. So I am saying no extensions. And nobody to be allowed to join politics before 2 years of your retirement. Or for any other job, that 2 years gap.
But that gap is still there, cooling off period, 2 years.
Yeah, but in interested cases, it is waived off.
In fact, for Mr. Narendra Mishra, law was introduced.
No, let us not go into individual cases. So a rule, 2 years, period. You cannot go anywhere. If you want to join politics, you leave earlier. You resign and leave.
Now people resign today and next day.
That also should not be allowed. So there should be a gap.
And in fact, the judicial service is also a higher.
It should be applicable to them also. Now, the High Court judge in Calcutta has done that.
Yeah.
So that should also. So it is not only for the IAS, it's for others also.
Especially piecemeal extensions. Are they creating?
No, extensions is bad. Piecemeal is worse.
Okay. And then what about post-retirement jobs?
I told you, 2 years gap.
Even for a government post-retirement job in a constitutional body?
Yes.
Whether it's CAG
yes.
or election
Yes,
commission?
that's why I'm saying you leave at 59. You have to find a via media. If I am a secretary till 62, you can make me CAG at 60. I'm still in the government.
But you think?
But not after 62.
Okay. Not after. So no post-retirement job.
No post-retirement job without a gap. I think this is something
that is really fascinating.
So, I think lots of this recommendation has been made time and again, so it's nothing new.
So,
no extensions and no retirement, post-retirement jobs.
IAS was created as a federal service to strengthen the federal structure. But now what we are seeing is that state cadre officers are getting entrenched in the with the ruling party of the.
Well, I don't think we should. Yes, I think we should not blame state cadre officer only because the regulars are also getting entrenched, unfortunately. But the literature says that the tendency and likelihood of their getting entrenched will be more because they have lived the whole life in the state and started from different positions where they get into political contact.
An IAS officer of a state
yes
getting interested or aligned with the ruling party of means. So that's why now the bureaucracy is now divided on.
That is why we can only hope that officers, all the measures we are telling about strengthening the service will lead to the real purpose of there being an apolitical neutral civil service. Right. That was what Sardar Patel insisted upon.
How can we
no, but these are some of the ways. Otherwise, how will societal things change? We are removing some persons. We should consistently move between center and state. It should be a regular thing.
Right.
We are removing people who are not promoted. We are doing training of a kind, etc. We are removing the elderly people and the bad incentives. So, a number of measures will help, hopefully, help towards that. But as far as your point about state services, you see, at that time, there was a feeling that somehow states should be involved in this system of administration. And as I said, chief ministers wanted IAS to be actually just a state civil service, which they could control, and which Sardar Patel has mentioned very specifically. He has mentioned. Now, what happens is 1/3 of the cadre is from state civil services.
Right.
And they are promoted simply on the basis of seniority.
True. No
merit. And they are promoted at a time when they're already, because seniority, their age is very high.
Right.
So they are not in a position either to rise high or to contribute. And the worst thing is they stay in the state.
Yeah, they're getting posted as district collector age of 45, 50.
That I told you that the Prime Minister himself made this observation.
Right.
So, whether there is justification in today's world of this 1/3 cadre is something which governments have to examine, states will oppose. But in a federal service, there is no need.
Right.
That is my view. Secondly, if I have to take them, I should be able to take them from younger age. And I hold an examination, which they should pass. Then I will send them to some training, which they still do perhaps, and then they must compulsorily move out of the state.
A person from Odisha state cadre
must go somewhere, at least,
West Bengal at least.
He should have 10-15 years more to serve so that he can contribute. But he should move out from that state. Maybe when we put these conditions,
so many political interests will also be not there.
Yes. And you will have to develop some professional expertise. After all, it's like a lateral entry.
You're right.
Given lateral entry, certainty.
Certainly.
So I think these are very
So,
fundamental issues which...
last thing I want to discuss with you. So, during your long illustrious career, was there any incident you remember where you were pressurized by the political elite or something which you did not want and you were subjected to do and you resisted or you did not do? Some political influence or
I was luckily not in positions where such extreme pressure could be put on me. But I have mentioned in this memoirs, I have mentioned
right.
the times that I was pressurized, but I never did.
Yeah.
And there were consequences for me for not having done it.
So what is the lesson for the young
lesson is very clear. I told you about ethical dilemmas. You have to do the right thing. If all of us start doing the right thing, then this thing will automatically go away. The problem is I don't do it, somebody else does. That is the problem. There was a story, when Sanjay Gandhi was going to UP, the DG police was asked to come to the airport. He refused. So the DG was changed and the new DG went to the airport.
Right.
So that is and
these are the consequences.
These are the consequences. So, but this is something which we have to go through. System must support honest officers.
True.
Unfortunately, that is not the case.
So that brings us to the close of this interview, and we'll again sit with you some other time to talk about your career. These were the learnings for the entire bureaucracy, especially the IAS. But now, next time, we're going to talk to you about your own career and the memoirs.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That brings us to the end of this interview. It was a very enlightening session on IAS cadre, its service conditions, and what are the reforms needed to improve the IAS services. We'll keep coming to you, sir, for more guidance and further discussions. Thank you for watching Indian Masterminds. Please like and subscribe our channel, and do write your comments in the comment section on YouTube. Stay curious, stay informed, and stay tuned. Thank you very much.